Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're at in the country. I'm Dustin Owens, the co-host of the K12 Esports League, along with the commissioner, Robin Menegdeg, and we're super excited to be able to do dual coverage of our semifinals for Marvel Rivals this week, as we have some really, really good matchups that we just did not want to miss out on. Robbie, how are we feeling coming into? We have K12 PEA. Don't hide versus the LAVCA Pelicans. How are we feeling coming into this matchup today?
Yeah, I mean, feeling incredible as always. Very excited to bring this matchup to the YouTube live stream. Of course, got to shout out our other matchup that is happening on our Twitch stream right now, casted by our friends at Loyola University of New Orleans. They are currently in picks and bans, it looks like, and that matchup is Kava versus Vava, right? And as Dustin mentioned, as I just mentioned, very excited to get coverage of both of these games simply because we are doing something a little unorthodox for Marvel Rivals this season. Instead of a bracket where a clear cut, one championship match at the very end of it happens, we're doing a 14 round robin. So all of these teams going to play against each other once over the course of 3 weeks. So this being week number two, they'll have their last match next week, and then based on how those matchups do go, we should have a very clear one, two, three, and four coming out of that. So yeah, I mean, getting to stream both matches that are happening today. There's gonna be two matches that happen next week as well. That hopefully we can do the same thing. Things happen sometimes. We may only be able to capture one of them, but you know, at least this week getting both of them. Very excited. It's going to be a good matchup. I mean, all four of our teams super super good. K12 PEA team don't hide. We saw last week on stream, and man, they were looking really good. So I'm expecting to see them look just as good today for LAVCA. Going to be a little bit of a tougher matchup, in my opinion here, but with esports, it's a very day to day thing, right? Sometimes you come out on fire, sometimes you come out a little less on fire, right? So I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be a good matchup, regardless of the outcome. Uh, Again, we had K12 PA on stream last week. This week we do have LAVCA on stream, and so our first look at LAVCA in the playoffs. Playoffs time definitely hits different than regular season time, right? So all these players really coming in looking to just play their absolute best, but be on screen with us here for a few moments longer as we are not quite into picks and bans for our matchup here. It does look like, as I look to my left, the Kava Vava matchup, once again on our Twitch stream, is in picks and bans currently. Um, if you're on a PC, definitely dual tab these up. It's going to be an insane day of Marvel Rivals. But Dustin, you excited for this one?
Absolutely. I think we've seen bits and pieces of Lavka throughout the season and everything. Obviously,
Hmm.
we're pretty well versed with K12 PEA coming in, not just from the stream last week, but in the playoffs and everything like that in the fall season. A very, very strong team. But I think overall, like I mean, Lavka's got some really good contenders. I think the K12 PEA will have to watch out for. As you mentioned, it could just be a day to day type thing. It's always going to come down to these picks and bans as well, as we're about to go into this and see how these teams are going to strategize against each other and everything. Little tidbit. Obviously, K12 PEA coming off of a loss last week against Kava, and it's interesting how Vava is currently undefeated this season on that Twitch stream. Beat Kava, but now is back in the rotation for playoffs and everything too. It's cool to see these three teams how they've kind of come around and Lavka coming into the playoffs this season is definitely a really really cool to be able to see them progress a little bit further. But with that being said, since they are in the picks and bans at the moment, we're going to go through what they've selected so far, and uh, looks like Star Lord is actually getting banned. I know that's one of your favorites there, Robbie. So I hate to see him get taken out of the game, but that's okay. Captain America, Luna Snow's getting banned, as well as Moon Knight. We've obviously seen multiple Moon Knights throughout this whole year be utilized in very dangerous fashion. But we are going to see some of these picks with a Magneto lock, which Magneto I think is just an overall very universally strong tank. He's got a lot of appeal for his team that can really kind of come into play. They are going to lock in a Wolverine, which I think is also I am very curious to see how that is going to come out because a really good Wolverine is no joke for sure. We're also going to have a lock on Gambit and Namor from the LAVCA side, as well as a ban from Winter Soldier and Invisible Woman. So cutting out two, I would say, iconic healers, strategists for this game, as Invisible Woman and Luna Snow are definitely up there in terms of the heal factor. But the good thing is it does look like each of them is going to get a Gambit in place, but they'll have to utilize a different strategist. It doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. They're going to have Cloak and Dagger. So very similar strategists coming out. And then the differences here is the duelists. We do have a couple Phoenixes for each team, so that's going to be interesting. The tanks are totally different, though. We have the Groot and the Thing on the LAVCA side, and then the Magneto and the Thing on the K12 PEA side. And then the only major difference is it does actually look like we're going to get a little bit of a switch here in the beginning. A little indecisiveness right off, but not a big deal. Looks like they're going to go over to the Rocket for this round and try that out. And then we also have this dive DPS for Magic from the LAVCA side as well.
All right. And real quick, Dustin, if you can full screen. Thank you. Already on it. Real quick, got to pick on Shui here. With the Wolverine lock coming in from K12 PEA. Very, very good on this Wolverine is Shui. And then the team up between Shui and Here's the Thing, who is on the Thing. Hilarious combo there. Has been really good. And we're going to start out Shui going to grab Cavern, bring them right back to their team, and it will be a very, very quick first blood there for the K12 PEA team. Don't hide. That was an amazing play coming out of Shui. I'm glad I called them out. Glad we got that on stream, on camera for the very start of it. So LAVCA already on the back foot, starting with that first elimination here in this one. But we are back to a full 6v6 team fight, and as we know, Marvel Rivals is all about the team fights. Who can play better as a team here for LAVCA? Gonna shout out their team name real quick, the Goku. Shout out Goku. We do have Princess Cobra, LAVCA, Aquex on the Phoenix, as we do see a couple of eliminations come through. Make that 4-5, almost a full team wipe. Make that the full team wipe here for K12 PEA. Coming out, their defense starting very, very strong here today. A key on the Phoenix, Cavern, ZYZY on the Groot, and I Eat Bubbles as well on that Magic that Dustin did call out earlier for K12 PEA. Today in this game one, we have Xenotachi Striker, Shamrocks, Aiden Tube, Shui, and Here's the Thing. Again, LAVCA losing that first team fight, coming back here now in the second big team fight of this game number one.
And I kind of foresaw LCVA on the Gambit coming out with that Gambit ult, trying to set his team up for this final push to this first point. And Shui coming in with that Wolverine, able to get one elimination, but LAVCA doing a really good job currently keeping the pressure on this Magneto and the backline, getting most of the K12 PA players eliminated to be able to push this to this first point. And I believe looks like Shui's going to be able to get on point to contest it just long enough here, but is going to quickly go down in the process. Now we have Here's the Thing coming in, trying to buy some of that time for his team to be able to get back, taking on some heavy damage there from Aquex on this Phoenix. And then it looks like we're just going to have this staggered approach for K12 PA coming in. Looks like LAVCA is going to be able to push through this first point, though, having K12 PA back up just a little bit to kind of regroup.
Turning up the heat.
Yeah, LAVCA making that first checkpoint successfully here is very, very, very good for them. Very staggered team fight kind of victory as well there. A lot of the K12 PEA players just kind of dropping in staggers. As we do see the Phoenix ult come out from Aquiques. A lot of good damage here coming down from them. But on the other side, Tachi with the bigger Phoenix ult there will be a huge team wipe there for the K12 PEA team. Don't hide. Good thing for them as well. They still have 4 ults online compared to the 3 ults from LAVCA. Here's the team up between the Thing and Wolverine. We actually see this from the K12 PA squad quite a bit when they do get to have both these characters in. Sometimes those targeted bans do come out, right? But sending Shui to the back line will pull in the group. Unable to get the full elimination there, but 2 will go down once again. Make that 3 and 4 as Shui does get a double. And their last player up is I Eat Bubbles on this Magic, going to drop as well. So another full team wipe for K12 PEA. They have pushed LAVCA all the way back to their spawn point on the second checkpoint.
Yeah, and it was crazy when that Phoenix ult came through the K12 PEA side. Here's the thing, following up first with their ultimate, stunning the enemy, which was able to come to most of that wipe. We do have the Gambit ult as well as the Phoenix ult coming in from the LAVCA side. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get quite the amount of damage that's needed to be able to do the eliminations here. Each Gambit on each side currently has their ultimate online, along with Princess Cobra from the LAVCA side having the Cloak and Dagger ult online for our next push. If LAVCA is going to do anything, they'll probably need to do this soon before some of these ults from K12 PEA come back online. Some heavy hits, though, coming out from the K12 PEA side. LAVCA's going to need to get a foothold on this convoy to continue pushing this thing forward.
Yes, they really will need to do that. And as you called out, not using their ults when they had the ultimate advantage. K12 PEA has a few ults of their own. Magneto ult coming out from Shamrocks will land and do some very good damage there. And it will end up being a triple there for Shamrocks on that one. LAVCA, I like this here. All players waiting in the safe zone of spawn until all of the teammates are up, so they can do a full push all together. Very smart, good play call from them. They do lose out on some time, but it's the best thing to do in that situation. Tachi though on this Phoenix, really putting down quite a lot of damage. I think we're going to see the ult come out, and we will, and it will land. Get a knockout for themselves, and also Shui getting in there as well. That would have been 4 players down at one moment there for the LAVCA squad. So LAVCA doing a really great job to push to that first checkpoint, but ever since then being shut down by this K12 PEA Wolves Team Don't Hide squad.
Yeah, and this corner can be very tricky in some ways. LAVCA trying to get that Magneto is going to find the Cloak and Dagger, which is probably one of the primary uses of that ult. So really good job there. They are going to pop that Gambit ult as well as the Punisher ult here to try to create some space. A little bit of an uphill climb for LAVCA, though. Even with getting this point control, they're going to have to maintain control throughout this entire period to be able to get up to this second area for this point to capture the second one.
Yeah, we are in overtime, which is why Dustin did say that, right? If LAVCA is at any point not touching the convoy or in the vicinity, that yellow timer will be dropping, and we're seeing that happen now as Shui with the Hexa does come out. Oh my goodness, what a play there from Shui. Absolutely insane. I want to say that's the first Hexa we have seen in the K12 Esports League on Marvel Rivals, so absolutely insane. Dustin, mental note, that is something that probably goes into the banquet, the banquet when we do get there. But taking a quick look at stats here, Uh, very good healing actually coming out from both squads. Definitely favors K12 PEA just a little bit with Aiden Tube sitting at 20k after just first round. That's super, super huge. Looking at the damage real quick, Zenotachi at 16k, matching Aqueeks on the LAVCA side. Both players, both Phoenix players here in this game, absolutely going crazy. And Shui, I mean, on the Wolverine, 29-2 right now, absolutely doing what they do. With that being said, we need to see LAVCA here get a little bit more of those eliminations. That will definitely, obviously, like help them out a lot. But at the end of the day, that's a testament to K12 PEA's team fighting ability, keeping everybody up. A lot more often than we're seeing from LAVCA. But switching sides here now, it is absolutely a different look when you're on offense compared to defense. A lot of different character switches as well, as we see Cavern now on the Mr. Fantastic, i.e. Bubbles coming out on the Adam Warlock, and then even oh, Xenothought she had switched off, but they are back onto the Phoenix.
Yeah, and so I think it's like, as you mentioned, I mean, LAVCA's got, they got some really good stuff. Obviously, that's a double elimination there for the LAVCA team and everything. Huge. They really just have to get a good stop here to be able to continue doing this. However, with it being a best of 5, obviously anything could go. Convoy is going to be different from Convergence, different from Domination. Staging does matter, you know. Characters obviously do matter depending on the circumstances that you have. And so the K12 PA currently has control of this convoy, is able to push LAVCA back pretty far, providing that pressure from Here's the Thing, kind of making all these LAVCA players go back. And man, again, Shui, just these big plays. This is what a good Wolverine does. They know how to utilize this partnership with the Thing and with the Hulk, as well as their Feral Leap and everything, going into some of their rage components and everything as they continue clawing their way through these enemies and stuff. And we're just, that's what we're seeing on camera. Xenotachi with a big ult there, trying to get as many as possible. Here's the Thing though, coming in with their ult, partnering with Shui, and that's a team wipe again. K12 PA already has this. They're not going to be able to get back to this point in time.
Yeah. K12 PA secures the game 1 victory there with that squad wipe. Oh my goodness. That was insane. Started with that Phoenix ult. Here's the Thing, comes in, gets a huge stun onto, I believe I saw 3 or 4 players, and then just from there, the rest of the team cleaning up what they can. Shui getting the MVP for this game, number 1. Dustin, I would not be surprised if we do not see another Wolverine for the rest of this series.
That could be totally true, but LAVCA could also come into the next round and decide to banish the Wolverine. Now, that's not to say, I mean, Shui may even have another, I'm sure they have another character or two that they have up their sleeve, prepared to come in the event that does happen. And, you know, even though Wolverine is good on this map, you know, in Shui's mind, it may not be the best bet, you know, going into the next one. It's really hard to say what that'll look like. Obviously, the stats continue to go up during that round a little bit for the K12 PEA side. LAVCA doing what they can to get that footing. Just not able to secure it right away, but we'll see. We'll have to see how these picks and bans going into the next round are going to affect the gameplay and how Convergence goes. Because, like I said, it's a totally different feel, even if it's similar to Convoy. Yeah, different map, different heroes. Yeah, just a totally different round.
Absolutely. And real quick, for the LAVCA side, just losing out some of those team fights, right? And they didn't really get a super clean wipe themselves during that first game. Looking to see that happen through the rest of the series, but have to shout out real quick Peaks on that Phoenix for LAVCA, most damage in the lobby. So they have good things going for them. They just got to put it all together. And as Dustin mentioned earlier, this is a best of 5. So there is some time, it's not a lot of time, but some time for the LAVCA team to really warm up and bring themselves back into this series for sure.
Yeah, and with that being said, I believe they're getting ready to go into the next lobby. So actually, we'll just take it back to us for a minute while we kind of chill and wait on them to start that up, and then we'll kind of get right into the picks and bans. But um, I haven't. Do we have? I haven't. I don't have the stream pulled up. What kind of updates do we have from the Kava and Vava matchup?
Jarson, of course, got MVP for that first game. Perplex for Vava got the SVP for their team, but really comparable stats. That game again went to overtime. Was a absolute you know what's the word I'm looking for here? Scrap. As every overtime does look in Marvel Rivals, but they are up 1-0 Kaba over Fava at the moment. We're into picks and bans though here on our stream with the K12 PEA Wolves Team Don't Hide going up against the LAVCA Pelicans, quote unquote Goku's. Shout out Goku, and we will see that first ban for LAVCA come out, being that Wolverine. As we mentioned going into the stats of that first game. Probably won't see Shui on another Wolverine. There's probably going to be an auto ban for LAVCA for the rest of the series. But as always, we'll just have to see how it does play out. Namor also locked in once again for the Pelicans. They locked in Namor in game 1, but I did not see a Namor come out at all, which is very, very interesting. Star-Lord getting banned as well from LAVCA. We're looking at for the K12 PEA Wolves. Luna Snow did just get banned out, and correct me if I make any sort of quick mistakes here, Dustin. Marvel Rivals is not my main game. Picked lock in of Magneto for K12 PEA, and then the Moon Knight ban again coming out from them as well. Locking in the thing here is K12 PEA's 2-4. Here's the thing. Again, great combo of names. I always get Invisible Woman and the other character that looks just like them. Shucks.
That is Invisible Woman, so I can say that much at least.
Okay. Yeah, okay, very good. And Invis Woman does get locked from LAVCA, Captain America band. Last band coming out from K12 PA. They're taking their time a little bit on this one, which is totally okay. When you look at a different game, Pro League of Legends, I mean, they wait till the last second to do a lot of their stuff. Gambit band coming out. Very, very interesting there on that one. Probably targeting LCVA just a little bit there on that. But we have the kind of soft locks, soft picks coming in right now for our players here. First thing that does stand out to me, Striker on the Jeff. Next thing is Aiden Tube on the Strategist Deadpool, the healer Deadpool, which is very, very interesting. Deadpool, one of my favorite Marvel characters. I do know that they are hard to master in Marvel Rivals, though their kit is very complex. So very interested to see how does Aiden Tube do on this Deadpool here in game number 2. Dustin, again, everyone, this is going to be Convergence. And I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, it's interesting because Shui has gone to what looks like he has a little bit more time on Iron Fist, and he actually, I do remember this from last week too during the Kava matchup. He did play the Jeff and everything really well too, so he has some versatility in his hero picks. We do see obviously Jeff coming out with Striker on the K12 PEA side, as K12 PEA is going to be defending this first point. A-Quicks, though, originally on the Phoenix during the first round, is going to start on Doctor Strange and actually go down, and so is their Emma, leaving LAVCA currently in a place where they don't have any tanks Gonna make them back up quite a bit here. Mr. Fantastic, everybody's kind of going down. The only ones that are left are the 2 strategists with the Mantis and the Cloak and Dagger from Princess Cobra. So having to quickly kind of readjust to make sure they have all their team. They are going to get Zenitachi down, though, right here at spawn. Striker coming up with this Jeff is going to find their own Magneto to try to get them out of harm's way. That can actually be utilized really well in an offensive, especially if they're in a lot of trouble, low health and everything. Really good protection by his team coming in. Namor utilizing their ult from LAVCA. Didn't see much coming out right off. And then we have Mr. Fantastic currently using their ult online with the strategist Deadpool ult online as well, trying to get some of that heals. Oh, and we're going to see a very good team up with the Doctor Strange and the Namor ult, and that's going to lead to a team wipe with K12 PEA.
Wow, quad here for ZY on the Namor. That actually brings their total up just to start this game to 5 knockouts. So the Namor finally seeing some action for the LAVCA squad after being locked in the picks and bans twice, but right back into another team fight as K12 PEA will use the Doctor Strange portal to stop LAVCA from even capping this point to even start moving the convoy forward here. But it looks like regardless, LAVCA will cap that point, and they are onto the movement part of this map here. So LAVCA playing way better than what we saw on map 1 already. Map 1, we're going to chalk that up to a warm-up for those guys. ZY again on the Namor doing a lot of damage here in this game. Does need to get some heals though, very, very low. Will finally find some heals back up to full health. Cavern in the mix here, using the Mr. Fantastic ult, getting some good damage onto Here's the Thing, but Striker with that Jeff utility just keeping Here's the Thing alive for quite a while. Will end up dropping though. Princess Cobra able to take them out, and LAVCA continuing to push this forward.
Yeah, and we it's actually funny, this week we mentioned to the teams that Elsa Bloodstone was available to be picked. She's been out officially for 2 weeks now, and teams have had a chance to kind of review her kit and everything. We are going to see Elsa come out for the first time this season. Here's the Thing, though, coming out with a big thing ult. Zenitachi, the follow-up with the Elsa Bloodstone ult, is not going to be able to find much. They're going to take that Glautrix monster down very quickly. Shamrocks from K12 PEA getting a couple really good picks there with that ult, pushing this LAVCA team back a little bit more as the Thing is kind of just mixed in amongst that, providing some intense damage. And these 2 tanks are just heavy hitting in this round, really just targeting one person at a time, taking them each down and just being able to get those picks, which is what is keeping LAVCA coming back. But LAVCA has pushed this convoy to a really good spot. If they can just get around the corner and up the ramp, they'll actually have this second point.
ZY here on a little bit of a flank, putting damage down in from the top. Does just drop down. The K12 PA team has yet to turn and try and take them down. Of course, as I say that, the caster curse does come in. Still alive though is ZY. Will use their ult. Striker with the Jeff ult will equalize those. However, LAVCA coming out on top of this team fight, has 3 players down. Make that 4 with ZY and 5 with IE Bubbles also getting 1 as well. Actually, all 6 in a staggered team wipe here for LAVCA. Going to be able to push this convoy up to this checkpoint, or much further to this checkpoint here. LAVCA, again, playing very, very well on this second game thus far. 3 ults online for them as well. Only 1 here for K12 PEA. Shui will do an instant pop of the Mr. Fantastic ult, dropping damage down. Although from LAVCA, we do see 1 ult come out in response to that. Cavern gonna pop their Mr. Fantastic ult as well, dropping again down that damage. However, just trading back and forth over these 2 teams is basically a 4v4 at the moment right now, as Shui does get another one advantage to K12 PEA. coming out of this team fight here.
Yeah, and there's currently no healers. All the healers for LAVCA went down, so Cavern currently on their own. K12PA is going to take possession of this convoy for at least the time being, but some really good ult pairings there coming back and forth. Eat Bubbles, I Eat Bubbles on this Invisible Woman, popping that ult to be able to save their team during Shui's Mr. Fantastic's ultimate and everything going on there. LAVCA currently having a little bit of an advantage with the few ults that they have online. Could actually pair these three up really well with each other if they're utilized for it. But it looks like Striker for K12PA is going to go down, leaving Aiden 2 by themselves as healing. We are going to see the Thing ult come out, as well as Aquix from LAVCA popping their Doctor Strange ult, getting Xenotachi. Aiden 2 is down. Here's the Thing goes down as well. And it looks like Striker is going to try to grab, again, the Mantis, and unfortunately is going to get shut down by the LAVCA team immediately. Wade trying to stall point with this Mr. Fantastic ult. Getting in some decent damage, but not enough to do everything with this full-blown LAVCA squad. Shamrock, though, very quickly ulting and very quickly, unfortunately, going down in the process. LAVCA has this second point with that elimination off of Striker. And they are doing, I would say, exceptionally better with the ult usage and the way they're going about getting the eliminations and stuff in. Coming into this convergence round.
Oh, absolutely. And they're still pushing this point forward as K12PEA has long death timers there. But we are back into another team fight here. That last team fight was so huge for LAVCA. Did have to use most of their ultimates. Only one online for them, with K12PEA having two. And here's the thing, popping theirs. Able to take down ZY on that Namor. That does take out the one player with an ultimate. Xenotachi switching over to the Hela will also get one. Shamrock's getting one. Xenotachi getting two here for K12PEA. So after losing that team fight and getting fully team wiped, they do come back out with some fire and are able to push LAVCA completely back to their spawn point. Only 25 seconds left on the clock as well for LAVCA here to finish this one out. They do have just about 3 ultimates online, which will be very helpful here. They're going to need to have a convincing team fight win to have a chance in finishing out this side of the map. But as Dustin said, as Xenotachi will take down a Queeks, Cavern popping their Mr. Fantastic ult, just trying to buy some time for their team, as Striker on that Jeff did get a triple there. Shamrock's getting a double of their own, and it's looking like this team fight here from K12PEA very, very strong. They are trying to finish out this side without LAVCA pushing this point up any further.
Yeah, and it was a really good portal there actually by LAVCA to try to get back on point, but with some of those staggered eliminations comes you have more team on one side than the other, and you're just trying to hang on to point so that way your time doesn't get eliminated. And that's what this, that's what happened in this circumstance. But LAVCA doing a really good job at the push and getting through 2 checkpoints this time. It's got to be a huge confidence booster in the way they decided to strategize and go about their character picks and bans. Obviously, looks like we're going to see a little bit of a switch up with some of the characters now. Aquix coming over here to Emma Stone, which I think is the one you were probably looking for earlier with Invisible Woman. Now that I think about it, took me a minute, but we got there. And then looks like Zai coming out on the Hawkeye and everything, which could spell a little trouble too. If a good Hawkeye has really good aim, can be a very huge nuisance to the other team when it comes to putting on that damage from a distance. But obviously, it looks like from K12PEA side, a couple changes. the same kind of characters and everything. We are going to see Shui on this Jeff, Striker on the Invisible Woman. Yeah, they're getting the lemonade from Jeff and his emote, which is actually a little fun tidbit. If you interact with it, you actually sound like Jeff when you do your ult for such a small period of time. It is kind of funny. Gotta love the fact that they're having a little bit of fun too at the same time. But we are going to see Doctor Strange, and here's the thing, Xenatachi and Aiden 2 all staying on the same characters this go around.
Yeah, we are into the second side here. Obviously switching over, LAVCA on the defense, K12 PEA on offense, ZY on the Hawkeye will drop first blood once again here in this round, already at 78% on their ultimate, so putting down some great damage, getting another one as well. ZY has got some crazy aim, good on the Namor, good on the Hawkeye. This is looking good, at least to start this one out here for LAVCA. K12 PA, of course, does have 3 minutes on the clock to cap that point and start moving the convoy, but now we're seeing a couple of trades going back and forth. ZY will drop for LAVCA, but I Bulb is coming out with the ult, will end up dropping, however, so K12 PEA is a strong team of 6 right now. Going up against 4 ultimates for LAVCA. I actually would love to see them pop these just to stall some of the timeout, but Shui able to eat Queeks and send them off the map. This will be a capped point here for K12 PEA. They will have quite a bit of time on the clock to move this convoy up to that first checkpoint, but with LAVCA they will be able to regroup and we will see a full 6v6 team fight once again. LAVCA with 5 ultimates online does have a little bit of the advantage here going into this one.
Yeah, and if you remember from last round, this is kind of where some of it got stopped a little bit for LAVCA, but we are going to see, like I said, several ults come out. It's hard to follow because this is such a fast-paced game, but not really much going around with the exception of Aiden 2 for K12 PEA going down. K12 PEA not quite having full control over this convoy currently. LAVCA has the control, is able to stop it. They're continuing this fight out, put some of the damage on. K12 PEA, though, building up these ults and already having a few online. We're gonna pop the first one and get both strategists in the process, and that's gonna be a full team wipe against LAVCA. K12 PA is gonna be able to push it up closer to the second point and put some of the pressure back onto LAVCA as they're gonna have to stop this.
That was huge from K12 PEA. Not only starting off by just surviving through the onslaught of ultimates that did come their way, but then being able to use the ones that they did charge up to secure a full team wipe. Shui with another grab of 2 LAVCA players, sending them off the map. K12 PEA coming out this second round really on fire here. ZY, last player up for LAVCA, will end up dropping, so a staggered full team wipe there by the K12 PEA Wolves will secure them that first checkpoint. They are moving to push this at least further than what LAVCA was able to, and they are getting very, very close. Cavern using this Doctor Strange. Oh, they were dropped right on top of the convoy here, and we are into what could be the final team fight of this game. A couple ults online here for LAVCA. They will pop them as well. Still, again, though, K12 PEA surviving through the ultimates. Very, very key here. Here's the thing. Does drop, however, that has been the only player that dropped for the Wolves. We will see one player drop for LAVCA as well in LCVA. Aiden 2 dropping for K12 PEA. LAVCA looking to survive for another team fight.
Yeah, oh, and here's the thing, popping their ult, getting 3, and with that, we're currently just down to the 1, and unfortunately not enough pull from this Mantis to be able to even hold point. So K12 PEA is going to be able to take this round 2 of Convergence but not without a very strong front from the LAVCA crew coming into this round.
Yeah, very, very strong showing there from LAVCA. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Obviously, they are down 2-0 in the series, but they have one more chance to continue to make sure that the series does not end. It is a best of 5 here. First team to 3 wins will be our victor here today. Again, seeing some really good things out of LAVCA, for sure. K12 PEA just a little bit better in these first 2 games here. But we're looking at the stats, Dustin. What is catching your eye first?
I mean, honestly, like we saw the triple strategist strategy. Not to say that really fast or anything, but coming out from both of these teams, we're seeing. I mean, these are huge heals. Like 8 and 2 from K12 PEA, almost 40,000 healing. From the Deadpool strategist, 32,000. And then you come over here to LAVCA, 34,000, 29,000. And then the offset, even though Shui has 13,000, I mean, you have 22. So, I mean, the strategists obviously doing what they do best and keeping their teams alive as much as they can. I think a lot of it just comes from some of these heavy hits that some of these tanks and everything brought. Obviously, we had some really good damage output coming from Zaza on this Hawkeye. We saw him coming in,
Mhm.
obviously 31,000. But even these tanks, like they're just kind of brutal, especially with here's the thing, and you have the push from Shamrocks coming in. They just, like I said, they would target one and then just kind of move on to the next one and just kind of stagger from there, while still continuing to put on pressure in that back line at the same time. And then you got these DPS obviously trying to do everything that they can to apply as much pressure as well, with that additional damage. So K12 PEA though obviously having the upper hand, giving them both of these rounds so far. And then LAVCA, though, again, really, really good elements. I loved seeing the different combinations used, the old usage and everything, and the strategies coming out from them. I think if they keep it up, they have a really good shot at going into this domination round, maybe turning things around for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, real quick, as I did game 1, we got to shout out Cavern and Zai for LAVCA. Most damage in the lobby, just unable to convert that into a actual game victory. So just a couple of tweaks for the LAVCA squad, and man, they are right in this here. So with that being said, domination is the next game. We will get to see on that game mode if they are able to turn it around and extend the series, or if K12 PEA on match point here does finish us off here in a 3-game fashion. With that being said, Dustin, see where we're at with getting to that. Quick update on the other stream. Second game did just end, and unfortunately, I looked over just a second too late to actually see how that one did finish out. I believe I saw Kava in the lead, um, but I couldn't tell you for sure here on that one. So that again, that stream is going. We got both of them here today on the Twitch and the YouTube live stream, looking very, very good for ourselves, getting full coverage. We love to see it. We love to see it. Um, Man, I feel like we've really hammered this in a lot, but great things coming out of Lavka. Just a couple of tweaks, and they probably win that game number 2. They looked really well, really good in that one. But of course, we also got to shout out K12 PA being up 2-0 in the series. I mean, their team fighting ability is absolutely insane. They fight very, very well as a team, and their cohesion definitely shows through in the gameplay. Right, their comms got to be on point. That's the only way that that really does work out. And apologies, everyone. I know my camera's freezing a little bit, but I'm here for sure.
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit too. I'm not sure exactly why.
Yeah,
It's only
I'm not sure.
different times, but no. One
Yeah.
thing I got to hand it with K12 PEA. Obviously, I think we mentioned it on stream last week, but even going against Kava, like on paper, it looks like they got 3 0'd, but when you actually deep dive those rounds, it was very heavily in overtime almost every single time, and, like, each team was
Mhm.
right there at that 99, 98 percentile, to capturing those points and everything, and it was just it was a crazy matchup to try to watch, and LAVCA, actually, going against Vava last week, went 3-2, against them, so they did all 5 rounds, so, like, we have some really, really good teams in here, but with that being said,
Mhm.
let's get over into some of the action with the picks and bans here. We are obviously going to see LAVCA sticking to their guns. They do not want to see Shui back on this Wolverine, and they're continuing to ban Star Lord as well. Obviously, wanting to continue locking in the Gambit, as that did come into a ban last round, and I think it definitely probably a little bit more of a comfort zone for that particular person, picking up that character. We do have Moon Knight and Luna Snow also being banned. A lot of similarities coming out. Doctor Strange and the Thing being locked in, and then we're just waiting for this second lock in these last 2 bans. But it is funny to see how they continue to utilize some of the same bans each round. Doesn't look like we're actually going to get a lock uh, pick from LAVCA's side. So it does look like they're going to just go to the ban next, and they are going to go ahead and hit the Captain America again. I'm assuming, I think it was Here's the Thing, actually, if I'm not mistaken, is not only on the Thing, but I think they're also on the Captain America. It was either them or Shamrock's, usually the ones that are on the tanks and everything. We did see for a second there, Shamrock's, though, having an icon for Loki. And Loki starting out was a really, really good strategist, has kind of come back in, but you really have to know where to place the clones, and really getting those the lanterns set up for the healing abilities in the right spaces, to really be effective with the Loki character. But it does look like we're going to see a triple strategist potentially come out from the K12 PEA side again. Shui on the Jeff, Aiden Tube on the Deadpool strategist, as well as Stryker being on the Gambit. And then from the LAVCA side, we are going to see Princess Cobra actually head over to Rocket, which we haven't actually. I don't think we saw somebody start out on them, but I don't think they stuck with them for a very long time. And then we
Yep.
also have Gambit coming out. We are going to see Cavern with Rogue Apex coming out on this Phoenix again, which I think is a very good option for them. And then IE Bubbles actually changing it up and coming over here to the Emma Frost. So definitely some differences, and with the way their tanks and everything have obviously a little bit more shield from the Doctor Strange, but you do have Emma Frost shield on the LAVCA side as well. Xenatachi coming back out on this Elsa Bloodstone too. Saw some, but we didn't get to see quite as much from the ult and everything during that last round, so I'll be curious to see if that changes at all. But we are on the Djalia domination map here, and 2 seconds until this point can be officially captured. Gonna come down to this particular team fight before they decide to go in and take that point. But K12 PA is gonna try to actually push them back to spawn, while I assume, yeah, the Stryker over here is going to take and capture point for K12 PEA.
What? You expect a Gambit to throw some beads?
Yeah, strong start here coming out from K12 PEA. I'm very interested to see Zai Zai on the Hawkeye again, who obviously just did so much damage in that in game number 2, and then Aqueeks back on the Phoenix after they had an insane game 1. So a lot of potential here for LAVCA to just put down so much damage with these two players on what I would probably guess are comfort picks here. But K12 PEA, again, starting this one out strong, able to cap point first. They are up to 33% already. LAVCA trying to battle their way onto the point here. That's a good start with the Queeks taking down Here's the Thing. Gonna need to get some heals. They will. They also have their ultimate, as the Rocket ult doesn't look like it does get popped here. Phoenix ult coming out will find 2, and that will translate into 2 more. Xenotachi on the Bloodstone. Gonna get a quad though. Oh my goodness. However, Little bit too late there for K12 PEA, as LAVCA will cap the point and start the percentage points moving in their favor. Here's the thing now, in a 1v1 kind of with a Queeks, and a Queeks will win it. Shout out the Phoenix. Unfortunately, so squishy. No healers there to back them up. We'll drop to Xenotachi. Xenotachi able to take them out. K12 PA now on the point. We'll actually cap it as well, up to 55% now with them. So LAVCA having to battle back, recap the point, get the percentage in their favor once again. ZY starting this one off here, taking down Striker. In a 1v1 kind of isolation with Jeff, getting them half health was a great shot, but now we have a full team fight coming out here. Again, ZY doing a lot of damage here on this Hawkeye. I Eat Bubbles and Cavern for LAVCA, able to get 2 down. It is looking good so far in this team fight here for LAVCA, able to keep K12 PA kind of on the back foot there.
Yeah, that Elsa Bloodstone ult, that was what we were kind of waiting to see. Having the advantage for the map drop off the ledge is actually quite huge, because technically you can recall that monster to do additional damage, but they didn't have to. With that being said, we have 2 ults online with the Doctor Strange ult, Aquix with the Phoenix ult as well coming online, and Shui able to protect the 2 tanks from their team with the Thing ult coming into place. 8 and 2 providing the extra heals coming in from the Invisible Woman ult, and that will be a team wipe against the LAVCA Pelicans here.
Be proud of what you did here.
Yeah, and that was really important there for K12 PEA to secure, as LAVCA is at 82%. By the time we have this next team fight, K12 PEA will have tied this up. So LAVCA, basically, I think they're at like round point here. They need to win this team fight, otherwise K12 PEA will be taking this first round. But we are now in the team fight here. Cavern bringing out the Rogue ult in the back line will get 1, doing a lot of damage here onto their Doctor Strange as well. Princess Cobra in the back line doing what Rockets do. 2 players down for K12 PEA. Make that 3. LAVCA successfully pushing back K12 PEA. And just like we saw the domination rounds last week, Dustin, I mean, this is so tight. It will come down to the wire here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to go into an overtime situation. Shamrocks is going to go ahead and use the portal to try to capture point. But with that being said, online, Cavern is going down, IE Bubble's going down. Aquix trying to use the Phoenix ult, is going to find the Gambit, which could prove kind of big, but with the Invisible Woman and the Jeff still online, K12 PA is going to win that fight and take round 1 of this domination.
I mean, the portal opening and Xenotachi coming down to find themselves a triple. Absolutely huge, very clutch play coming out from the K12 PA Wolves will secure them that side. LAVCA so close to winning that one. And I mentioned it literally just a few moments ago, but looking just like what we saw last week with K12 PEA versus Kava on this domination game mode. Just both teams getting up to 99-99, coming down to 1 overtime, 1 team fight that does end up deciding it all. Looking at the stats real quick here, very even across the board as far as heals. Again, Aquix on this Phoenix, absolutely doing insane damage across the board. So, you know, again, LAVCA doing very good things. Just unfortunately falling a bit short here throughout this series. They are not out of it yet, though. They have the opportunity here to win this round, send us to a final round of this domination game, and extend the series. Again, though, K12 PA is on true match point here. So LAVCA backs against the wall. Can they pull it out?
Yeah, and with this first fight, looks like we are going to see Shui pop the Jeff ult. Actually grabbing 2 of the strategists is going to get taken down to very quickly by the LAVCA team. But with 4 ults online for the K12 PEA team, definitely going to be a harder a harder fight
By
this
the
first
eye
round.
of Agamotto.
We are going to see the thing go down, but Shamrock's coming out with that Doctor Strange ult. He's going to push LAVCA back a little bit, and it has already captured point and has started taking some of that percentage, but LAVCA not completely out of this fight just yet. Is going to need to kind of be able to regroup against
Can't catch me.
this K12 PEA team who's currently on point. 8 and 2 and 8 bubbles, both popping their Invisible Woman ult. Zai on this Magneto now does get 8 bubbles out of their ults. And so many ults going on at one time. We have the Thing ult going out,
What am I?
Rocket,
Invisible?
and then Gambit also answering for the LAVCA side. I think one of the big things is the ult usage here on the LAVCA side actually worked out in their favor really well to be able to get this percentage taken down and capture the point, so that way they can start their climb a little bit. As K12 PEA is currently at 47% on this point.
Yeah, really great team fight there from LAVCA does come out. They also have the ultimate advantage right now with both Aqueeks and Cavern having theirs ready to go. Xenotachi only at 38%, has a while until they do get their ult here on this Elsa Bloodstone. Cavern pulling out the Rogue ult, trying to single out this Doctor Strange. Heals though for K12 PEA are strong, unable to bring Shamrocks down even to 50% health. Big ult coming out from Shui here on this Jeff. Will successfully be able to go off the map with those two players. K12 PEA did pretty good on that team fight there, however have been unable to actually make it onto point and cap it. Aqueeks trying to stay alive as long as possible, somehow still up. Does finally end up dropping Xenotachi, able to take them out. Zai with the Magneto ult will throw that one down, will not connect with it at 6 HP, will drop as well. This is going to be K12 PEA winning that team fight. They are now at 64% on capping this point. LAVCA had a good stand there at 55% themselves. Gonna need to come out and have a huge team fight here. Only the rocket ult on Princess Cobra is up for them though, and they have been pushed back to their spawn, so they have to battle through this little checkpoint, which is very, very difficult to do here. Striker with the Gambit ult, popping that one out. Does get kind of singled out here by two of the LAVCA players. However, staying alive, putting down damage too, finally will drop Zai, taking them out, but 8 and 2 will trade right back onto IE Bubbles. LCVA on the Gambit, doing a good job, of course, as always, getting those heals in. LAVCA will successfully cap the point back themselves, stopping K12 PEA at 93%. Big ult coming out there from Aqueeks, will not find any eliminations there. Zai will get two though. Xenotachi able to get two, make that 3 for themselves. Here's the thing, getting a 4th. K12 PEA will most likely be able to get this point back, and with those 2 eliminations will be able to they're going to get to 100%. LAVCA is going to have kind of one more opportunity, and the most clutch play coming out from Shui on that Jeff there to end the game and end the series. The Doctor Strange portal was coming out from LAVCA's Doctor Strange. Unfortunately, that ult from Shui eats the Doctor Strange and will stop that portal from even having a chance to pop up again. Just a very heads up smart play coming out from Shui and the K12 PEA Wolves squad to officially claim the victory here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously it goes without saying, LAVCA doing everything that they can and putting up a really, really good battle throughout these rounds and everything, especially progressing into convergence round and coming into domination round. Like one thing that I would actually even like to see, like even for future matchups and everything too, is when you're at a choke point where you can pretty much see the whole enemy team that's right in front of you. Obviously, there's a lot of map there to work with, and like most maps and stages and everything, there's alternate routes into where that point is. I haven't seen. I've only seen a few flanks this season so far. But when they happen, they can be huge plays. And so LAVCA did a really good job of being able to pick that point back up, getting the percentage and everything, but K12 PA being able to keep hold of the remaining point and everything. It could have been an opportunity when they were kind of in that funnel to flank around and get some of those healers before some of those Gambit ults and stuff like that were popped. But overall, again, kudos to LAVCA having some really good damage. Obviously, the most being Aquix on this Phoenix and everything. I think with that spread on the normal attack, that definitely makes a huge difference. But you're putting in a lot of damage and doing some really good things for your team there. Healing, I mean, you guys are doing phenomenal. Like this is like you can't get much better than this. Obviously, we see these numbers. This is obviously the winning team at the moment, but as far as the heals go, they're basically matched. Like we can't neglect that part. It's truly just what ults were online at the time and who's coming out on top within some of these rounds, given the circumstances and everything. And then kudos to Zenitachi on the Elsa Bloodstone. Like I said, seeing it for the first time this season, 29-3, definitely not something to be, to just kind of push past, and with a 5 kill at one point that I don't think we fully saw. Final hits obviously 21, huge difference in between most of these the other final hits throughout the lobby and everything. So kudos to K12 PEA, a good win for them this week. And LAVCA, everybody still comes back next week for this championship matchup as we are doing this round robin.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dustin really hit everything that I would have said as well. Outside of, I gotta shout out Shui one more time, getting that Hexa in game number 1, absolutely insane. What a moment that we did see from them. But we saw great moments from everybody. I mean, very clippable things from both K12 PEA and LAVCA. So I mean, what a great matchup. Again, the score at the end of the day on paper shows 3-0, but it was a very hard fought battle. LAVCA played very, very well. Obviously K12 PA coming out on top though, but I do have an update on the other match that we did see. Kava came out on top on that one, also a 3-0, but again, with that being said, those matches were very, very close from